Now, they say you can't win your league on draft day, but man, you sure as hell can hurt your odds of winning by making the wrong decisions in those early rounds. So I have some early round traps that you should be looking to avoid in drafts in 2024. Now, one of the biggest early round traps has to be Devon Achane because he has yet to prove one of the most important things of being a fantasy asset on rosters is staying healthy. Availability is your best ability, and Achane, man, missed 6 games last season, leaving 1 game early. And I understand he doesn't need many touches to be explosive, to put up 50 fantasy points. But man, I just don't feel like taking the risk in those early rounds. 3rd round to be exact, where I can get a Raheem Mostert in the 8th round, or I can get a Jalen Wright in the teens rounds where he's basically going for free. I just feel as though the risk is not worth it when we getting Mike McDaniels in the press conference last week, basically saying that the backfield is led through Raheem Mostert. We know this Dolphins offense is a high power offense, a lot of scoring opportunities, and we saw Raheem Mostert get majority of the touches and put up 18 touchdowns. Man, I'm just going to take the value on Raheem Mostert rather than taking the risk in those early rounds with Devon Achane. Man, I love me some DJ Moore, but I'm being very hesitant and cautious of taking him in the early rounds just based on the target competition around him. This is probably the best target competition he's had his entire career with Roma Dunze, Keenan Allen, and you even have DeAndre Swift in the backfield that's looking to get peppered with some targets as well. And we look back to 2020 when he had some target competition. He had Robbie Chosen and Curtis Samuel, and they all equally shared 14 fantasy points per game. Now, they all finished as top 25 wide receivers. That'll be great. But I think the headache of figuring out which week is going to be DJ Moore or which week it's going to be Keenan Allen, Roman Dunze, and etc. is just going to play a toll of why I don't want to take the early draft pick on him just based on where I can wait 3 to 4 rounds later to get me a Keenan Allen or a Roman Dunze where they have equal risks and equal headaches. So therefore, I'm going to be pivoting to other options than DJ Moore in those early rounds. Now, Chris Olave is going in that early 2nd round. My biggest issue with him is not exactly about him or his talent. It's the situation at the quarterback position and the play calling and the head coach overall. Now, Chris Olave is dealing with a lot of connection issues with Derek Carr. It's targeting him downfield. Only a 48% completion percentage on passes 10-plus yards last year. There's a lot of games that we watched last year where Derek Carr and Chris Olave could not connect on the big plays. He was rather connecting with Rashid Shaheed. So therefore, going in the early 2nd round, I really feel as though you're taking a risk here because also there's not much touchdown upside that comes with Chris Olave and Derek Carr. Derek Carr since 2021 is below the league average of 4.5% of TD percentage, where he's at 4.3. So therefore, there's not much upside here for Chris Olave to see the touchdowns. In back-to-back seasons, he's had 5 or less touchdowns. There's guys in his wide receiver ADP range that I'd rather bank on that have higher TD upside. So therefore, Chris Olave in that early 2nd round is an early round trap that you should be looking to avoid. Now, seeing Aaron Rodgers in sweatpants and a t-shirt and slow motion videos throwing no-look passes to Garrett Wilson isn't fully going to make me comfortable investing in him in these early rounds. Now, we're looking at Garrett Wilson in back-to-back seasons, capped at 12 fantasy points per game due to QB play. And I know Aaron Rodgers is a complete step forward, but man, we have not seen this guy play an entire game at full speed with mobility since he has been a Green Bay Packer. I understand that Garrett Wilson has the talent and the volume will be there regardless of who the quarterback is, but again, we saw him capped at 12 fantasy points per game in back-to-back seasons, and hanging your hat on a 40-year-old quarterback returning back from injury, there's a high risk here that he could re-injure himself, and then you're back to square one with limited fantasy production from Garrett Wilson. So that wraps up another great episode of RotoBaller Fantasy Sports YouTube channel. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe, and head to the website and use my promo code FIRE to sign up today to get 10% off on your subscription, man. And make sure you guys follow me at Real Deal Fantasy on all social media platforms. Until next time.